Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a process video for you today. I'm going to be working through day 4 of overflowing from Bythewell4God. I had some additional notes that I had taken when I was doing my study for day 4. So I ended up with quite a lot of journaling cards here with scriptures and things on them. So what I'm going to do is try to incorporate all of those for day 4. And these are the next pages in my journal here. So I want to try to incorporate this. As you can see, I have a bunch of different, cards and colors and things that I'm working from. So I'm going to try to find a way to make all of this work. And so I'm going to redo this in real time, and we'll see how that goes. But first thing that I want to do, if you've seen the setup video for this journal, is all of this is designed to basically come in and out. And so what I think I want to do is actually bind this signature. I talked about that in the setup video, and I think at least for this signature, this is what I'm going to do, because what I want to do is actually use this to make a pocket here on this page, and it won't work if it's sliding around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this this little signature out, and I'm going to just use that 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I'm going to make this so that it is actually just a sewn in signature, and then the signature itself will still slide in and out of this twine binding signature journal. So I'm just going to line everything up here as best as I can. I'll make sure this part is really the important one, because this is the one I want to be my pocket. So I'm going to see if I can find some clips. I don't know if this is going to be long enough. No. Let me see. I might have a paper clip. Yeah. I just want to try to keep everything sort of in place while I'm doing this. And I'm not going to be measuring or anything. This is just for my, just to hold everything together. The only thing that's important is that because this is my shortest piece of all the pages in my signature, I need to make sure that all 3 holes, or at least 2 of them, hit this, this page. So what I may actually do is just kind of lower this down like that. And then that will at least get 2 of the holes from when I sew this together. So I'm just going to clip everything together so it doesn't slide around on me. And then I'm going to use my book cradle. Maybe not. Maybe I can do it without. It's across the room. I didn't bring it over here. So I just have an awl, and I am really going to eyeball this. I don't need it to be super precise. So I'm going to go roughly for the middle here. And I do actually, I think I want this in the middle. I keep changing my mind. So let me put this back. Sorry. And clip that. Okay. I think that's going to be my best bet. So I'm just going to go right here in the middle, and I'll just come down further for my other holes. And I'm just kind of keeping this at an angle so that when I come out this end with my awl, I'm coming on the fold here. And then I will do that roughly here. And I don't think I got, there we go. And also I'm working on a self-healing mat, but you could work like in a phone book, or if you have a book cradle, or I sometimes use like a foam mat that I have, and that works well too. And then but I have this self-healing mat that I'm working on, and I'm not like sticking down into it. So it should be okay for just binding this little signature here. Okay, so this is some waxed linen thread that I'm going to be using. I have a needle here. I like to use waxed linen thread because it slides through the signatures really easy. And whenever you're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is what I'm about to do, you want your thread to be about 2.5 times the length, the height of your signature. This one isn't going to need to be quite that long because my holes are going to be pretty close together. And you don't tie a knot in it or anything. So I start from the middle and go to the outside, And then I'm going to leave a tail, and I just kind of hold that there with my thumb. And then from the outside, I'm going to go in to the middle of my signature. That one came off there. I had a feeling it was going to. And then when you come back through, then you're going to go down to the bottom hole and back out to the outside. And then I'm going to come back into the middle. And here is where, when you're coming back in, you just want to make sure that you don't split the thread. You're not coming in the middle of the thread that you just put there. And then I like to come up on the other side. So I have my tail here, and I'm going to come up on this side. And that is just going to make sure that I can pull everything nice and tight. So you can see on the outside, that's what my binding looks like. And then on the inside, I have this center section that's in the middle of each of the tails. And then I'm going to tie a knot around it. And that will just keep it secure. That's the good thing about the waxed linen thread, is it's a little tacky, so it kind of sticks on itself. And then you can, you could trim these, you could tie a bow. For right now, I'm going to leave these. I may come back and trim them later. I may come back and tie a bow later. I haven't decided yet, but for now I'm just going to leave that as a knot. And now I can slide this back into my journal. Okay, so I can just slide this back into my signature, or my journal here, and that will just kind of go right down the middle. I used that thread that kind of matches, so I may end up needing to make a bow or something there so that that stays. But now I can come in here and I can turn this into a pocket, so which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use some of my Barely Arts precision glue for this part. I'm just trying to keep everything pretty simple this month. I have kind of a lot of projects happening all at once, and so I just thought I would kind of work through this process. This journal is just a little bit different from other ones that I've done, in that they're kind of all loose pages. So the other issue that I'm sort of dealing with is I have kind of all of these different colors. So I have the pumpkin journaling spot that has, you know, all the different colors. I have my journaling cards that are all kind of different colors. And so I'm going to try to find a way to make all of this cohesive. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually put some pattern paper here that's kind of neutral. So I'm going to use this one from Bythewell. This is the one that coordinates with, you know, with the kit. And I hate losing this backside because this is probably one of my favorite pages, but I'm going to go with this neutral kind of plaid here. And I'm just going to glue this. This will be like the last page of this particular signature. So I'm going to put my adhesive on here. And whenever I'm doing this, I like to make sure that I'm getting, you know, as close to the edge as I can. This glue is pretty strong. And then I never measure before I glue it down. I just kind of add my adhesive, and then I come back and trim it down. It just works better for me that way. I sometimes don't measure very accurately, so this is just a way that I can make sure everything is going where I want it to. And I lost my little, there we go. Stick this back in here. For some reason my glue, I don't know why it's doing that. It just keeps coming out. So, okay. So now I'm just gonna trim this down, the excess. And you could do, like make this even into a pocket if you had some additional notes, or if you wanted to include a prayer. I've done that before. You kind of just tuck a tag in there or something, and then it gives you extra space. Pretty much, I think I have joked about this, but if you're gluing something down, you can make a pocket or a tuck spot out of it. So that goes for ephemera, it goes for pockets. pretty much anything is fair game to, at least in my journals, to be made into a pocket or a tuck spot. So this is just going to kind of help to keep everything kind of neutral. And one thing that I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to do this off camera, is I want to distress all of the edges of everything. That's just a look that I like. So I'm going to distress all of these in archival ink in ground espresso. And I also have this little glassine envelope that I'm planning to use. Okay, I have pretty much everything ready. Now I do want to deal with this glassine envelope. I want to trim this off, but before I do that, I want to make a little notch here. And sometimes glassine does not want to punch very easily, so I'm hoping if I'm just going to tuck this in here, and then I'm going to double this up and see if this doesn't work a little bit better. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stick a piece of paper down in there. That just helps the glassine kind of be able to cut a little bit better. And again, I'm not measuring this. You could certainly, if you wanted to, I'm just kind of eyeballing about halfway down. Yeah. Oh, I ripped the whole thing. Well, that's not good. That is okay. I'm going to salvage that. Let me just get my little paper trimmer. So I should have, my instinct was to use my paper, and I didn't. So I'm just going to actually trim this down so it'll just be a little bit of a shorter pocket. But I think it will still work with my little tags here. My little cards should still fit in there, so it'll be fine. I have another one I could do, but I just don't want this one to go to waste. So I'm going to distress that, and let me tuck something in here to try to get this to cut just a little bit better. I'm just going to use a sticky note. This should work fine. I should have done that from the beginning. I knew better, but that's okay. So again, I'm just going to kind of come like about halfway down, maybe a little less on my little circle punch, and cut my notch. And then I want to distress that as well. And then my two of my journaling cards that have some extra scripture here are going to go in there. And I think I'm going to put that over on this side and this. And then I think I'm going to put that up top because I want to put a die cut down here at the bottom. And the reason is I think that that's going to be the thing that kind of ties all of this together. So I have this one that has this wheelbarrow. This is from the kit. And I like this one because it has the pumpkins and the sunflowers in it. And so it's going to tie kind of all of these elements together. So this is going to rest down here in the bottom corner. And but I don't like the fact that it feels like it's kind of floating. So I have this doily, and I'm going to, I think, just put this right along here and have this kind of resting on top of that. I think that should be okay. It just kind of gives it a little bit something to kind of anchor it there. So you can see I've already used, you know, a section of this. I'm gonna actually just go through and glue this down so I know that this is where I want this, and I'm just gonna get it lined up with the edge as much as I can, and then I will trim that off as well. Doilies can be difficult because you know, obviously the glue is going to come up through there, but Barely Arched glue dries clear. But also I'm going to have my my die cut right over the top, so it's not going to be an issue. So I'm just going to glue that down. It also brings in kind of some more of that cream color, and then I will trim off this as well. And I will save these little bits because they could be used elsewhere. I did not cut that very well. I was trying to not get myself too much in there, but off camera. I'm not used to doing this live, so I'm sorry if I feel a little a little disjointed. I'm just going to trim this down. I think I may need to add a little bit more adhesive. And I don't know why my glue just keeps spewing glue, but that's okay. All right. And then I will add my die cut right over the top here. Maybe a little bit this way. I want to be able to see the doily. Like that. And for right now, I'm actually just going to add a little bit of glue kind of in the middle of this because I may want to tuck something behind it later. I haven't really decided. So until I do, I'm just going to do that. I can always come back, and that's the great thing about the little like needle nose edge there is I can layer things back behind there if I want to. Fix my glue again. That's so crazy. Okay, so this is the journaling card. This kind of has one of the main scriptures that was talked about in the devotional. So I want to put this kind of front and center here. I missed an edge when I was distressing. And so I'm going to glue this down, and I am losing this side of the journaling card doing it this way instead of just kind of tucking it in somewhere. But I think it'll be okay. Sometimes I use them as pockets, and sometimes I tuck them into a pocket. So I'm just going to put this here. I will use this as a pocket, I think. Sometimes if I'm not sure exactly where things are going to land, I kind of glue it down as a pocket, and then I can always come back through later and change. So I think I'm going to stick that there because that's a little kind of shorter one. And then I want to do this, and this word seek is what I really want to focus on for this day. That was just something that kept coming up about, when we seek the Lord, he's faithful, and he will be found of us if we when we seek him. And so I am just going to trim this down a little bit and kind of make a banner for across my glassine envelope here that I can put. And so now I need to trying to decide if I like that or not. I think I'm going to make it more of a thinner strip instead of quite so tall. And again, I apologize if this is actually really boring watching me do this in real time. You can let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate any feedback. I had asked about it before, and people did seem to like the real-time videos. And I know for some people, especially people that are new, sometimes hearing kind of the way that we work through a problem or the decisions that are made, at least that's what has been helpful for me through the years, is hearing, not just what people are doing, but why they're doing what they're doing. So yeah, I like that better. But I need to distress this now. Okay, so I'm going to add this here, and I think I might add a little bit of, maybe I want to add some of the doily too. I kind of like that. Maybe a smaller piece here in this corner. Yep, I am gonna add this because my pages are not identical. I have different pattern papers and different things. I want things on here that are going to really make it seem cohesive. First my glue was a volcano, and now it won't come out. Okay, here we go. Do any of y'all have this problem? This is the only problem, the first time I've ever had this problem with my Verily Arts glue just being super crazy. All right, hopefully this is gonna work this time. I may switch glues if this is gonna keep doing this. Okay, So here I'm, because I'm going to be doing this onto this glassine, I'm trying to get some adhesive onto kind of the bigger parts of this doily along with just down the edge. And see if I can't get that to stay. Okay, I need to trim that down just a little bit too, it looks like. I'm trying to kind of hold it in place too because glassine is, you know, slippery and I don't want it sliding around. And then I will come back in and distress that part too so it seems more cohesive. And then I think actually what I'm going to do here is kind of make this into a banner. So I'm going to cut a little bit of that off, and then I want to make this like a flag, and the easiest way to do that is just to kind of make a cut up the middle and then go from each corner into that centerpiece there, and that will give you a nice little flag banner. I don't know why I wanted to do that. That's just what makes sense in my brain right now. And another thing that I want to do is I want a staple in this just for a little bit of texture, but I obviously don't want to staple through my glassine envelope because that would close it. So I'm going to just add a staple here like that, and then I will glue this where I want it and then make it look like it's stapled. See if I can get my glue working again. It's so crazy. And sometimes, at least when I'm working, you know, sometimes I have an idea going into a page, and other times everything that I'm doing is just kind of on the fly, which is what's happening right now. I just keep kind of changing from what I thought I was going to end up doing. And then every time I'm, you know, cutting off area that I have already previously distressed, I'm just coming back in just to make sure that it stays looking correct. So I think I will kind of stick that there. And then I have this flashcard. So now it's kind of just putting all of the little bits together. This is one that I thought I was going to put, I wanted it to be visible as well. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this up here at the top, and then I'm just going to glue this to this paper where the sunflowers are, not to back here, because then again that will close down my my pocket here. So I'm just going to add my adhesive here, and this is actually one of the I think this is what the bow clip, and has the scripture on it. So every part of the devotional, you know, every part of that kit is very useful. So this is one of the focus scriptures for this day. So I want to add a little bit of fabric. I want to try and pull in just a little bit of this kind of blue color. So this is actually fabric that was on a bow clip that I had disassembled and used 1/2 of the strips. I cut it in half lengthwise, or I tore it really. And now I'm just going to tie this up here at the top. And I'm just kind of doing it like this so that it fits better in my little pocket. And I just like all of the various textures. And then I haven't glued this down yet because I just want to make sure I have the placement of it exactly where I want it, which I think is going to go right there. So let me glue that down, and then all I need to do is find a number sticker for this day, and then this will be done. So I will post a picture of this after at the end of this video, so you can kind of see. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave those down in the comments below. Let me know how you like this real-time video. I know there wasn't a lot of, you know, this wasn't a really technique heavy day, but it was something that I hope was helpful in terms of maybe figuring out, you know, how to work through some things, how to work through different problems that may arise, or, you know, just kind of how I'm working through my journal because of the way that it's set up. I do want to add, I think I'm going to use these tile alphas for my number for this day. I'm working on, again, on day 4. So I don't want to necessarily have like have this be a huge focal point, the number. So I'm just going to pull off the little number. I sometimes have a hard time. And I think I will add it here down in this little corner. And that's just so that I know that this is where day 4 starts. So again, I have my pocket with some notes there. I have this pocket here with 2 little library cards in there. I have this pocket with this journaling card in there. And that is everything for me for day 4. So if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.